The world is afflicted by death and decay, but the wise do not grieve, having realized the nature of the world. So I'm going to go ahead and play this audio recording now, so give me a second. Hopefully there's no technological glitches. And if anyone can't hear the speaker, raise your hand and I'll hold the microphone up to the speaker.
Battery 5. Connected to iPhone 3.
Hello, my friends. I wanted to have my last gathering at the Krishna temple because I've had so many wonderful experiences in this sacred, loving place. I first went to the temple in 1983, 40 years ago, when Noah and Jesse came home from a day at the beach with a friend, and she took them to the temple for dinner afterwards. Well, they came running in the house, all excited about the free mango nectar, all you could drink, and they didn't make you pay anything. They were so excited. They also brought me a plate of the most amazing prasadam, my very first taste of this sanctified food. The only thing I remember on the plate was butternut squash pakora, and it was a divine. Well, after this, it became a ritual to go down every Sunday night, which was not an easy feat because we lived in the back country 15 miles from Ramona, 5 miles out of dirt road. So it was a whole day's outing to go down to Pacific Beach from there. But certainly worth every minute of it. We would go to the temple, sing and chant and dance and feast on the fabulous prasadam. And through these years of doing this, I met so many beautiful, amazing people. So many people who really encouraged me, comforted me, and literally changed my life in so many ways. I'm so very grateful for everyone. But I, of course, have to mention Dravida, because he was the one who would come to my house every weekend for 7 years in a row, and we had the most wonderful kirtans. It started out with just a few people, a few of my friends and a few devotees, but over the years it grew to a huge affair. Every Friday night people would come, bring a dish to share, but one of the most wonderful parts of it, Noah and his friends were coming, which I loved because they were doing this instead of being out doing that, whichever it could have been. So this was a wonderful bonding experience for me and Noah, and we just made so many wonderful friends through our Friday night kirtans. And then there was also the experience I had when Jessie died, my sweet little 9-year-old child. This was so hard. It caused me so much pain and grief. But somehow I had some wonderful, comforting experiences at the temple. The days after he died, because he did die in Pacific Beach, we lived in Wildcat Canyon, out east a bit, but he was in Pacific Beach when he was sitting on that skateboard and going so fast down a hill and collided with the vehicle. So every day after the accident, I would go down to the temple just to be alone and find some solace. Well, I wasn't really alone there, because every day there was a woman that would greet me, and her name was Sri Rupa. And when she would see me, she would put her arms out, and she would smile, and she'd say, "Oh, Diane, Haribo, I'm so glad to see you. Tell me what's happening today." And I would sit with her for what seemed like hours, telling her what I was experiencing, because there were some very esoteric events happening in my life at that time. After all, my baby had just died. And you know, when your babies die, they don't leave you. He was part of me. And so I had to be with him in the astral world. And I learned so much going between the two worlds. And she loved hearing all of my experiences. And they made me so warm and comforted. Because most people that I loved when they'd see me were so saddened by this event that I always felt like I had to comfort them, because it was such a heavy, tragic event. Then I started to heal because I knew I had to. I had more children, and I knew that if I didn't get this right in this lifetime, I might have to experience it in another lifetime. So I really left the why me tribe and oh poor mommy and all of that, and became a much stronger person because of it. Now all these years later, I have asked numerous devotees, even ones who were in the temple during that time, about this woman called Sri Rupa. And nobody seems to remember her or know where she is. So I have to wonder if there was a person named Sri Rupa, or was I going to the temple and being greeted by some beautiful deity that would come and comfort me each day. It was quite an experience. So, anyway, lots of great things have happened over the years, going to the temple, and I'm so very grateful for this place of refuge, the aromas that come from there. Oh my goodness. And of course the beauty of the deities and the flowers and the whole environment, and the loving devotees and friends I've made there are just fantastic. So I've had many experiences in this life, as you all know if you've known me a while. I've lived many places, I've done many things, I've known many people. It's really quite a full life I've had, and for that I'm very grateful. But I chose to speak to you about the Krishna temple, since this is where everyone is gathered today to hopefully you will want to share your stories about adventures we had or experiences we've had or just smiles or laughs we've exchanged. And I'm so happy and grateful to have known everybody and anybody who showed up at this. Thank you. And I do hope you love the prasadam that I chose for you today. I chose this dish a few days ago. They're kind of my favorites. There's a whole bunch of them, but I only chose 3 or 4. And just know that as I lay here on this evening, it is September the 8th, and I'm in good spirits and very comfortable and ready to leave this body behind, close these material eyes, and open my spiritual eye, my third eye, so I can see everything. I love you all.
Okay, I'm sure everyone needs to take a little breath after that. But I would like to open it up to anyone else now that would like to come up and share a story or talk about anything you want about Diane. We would all come on up.
Hi, Ahoni. I'm Kanka. I remember. Hare Krishna, everyone. I was so excited that Diane decided to pick having her memorial service here at the temple. This is where I first met Diane, and my name is Kanka. I have been a Hare Krishna since I was 19 years old, and I did live with Diane in Encinitas for 3 years. We had some amazing, wonderful experiences together. And I was so happy that towards the end of her life, she amazingly strong inner self, and I'm praying that I can be as strong as her. But I just wanted to appreciate what she just said, and amazed at how her journey has brought her full circle right here again. And thank you very much, Ahoni. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone else like to come up? Just come on up. No need to raise your hand. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, let me forget I have a necklace.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm not going to be as brave as Ahoni, but I'm here. And my dad was Diane's cousin. So I lost my dad when I was 11. I've been through death 5 times, but this is the first time that I've been with somebody that was ready. So it's very different. And the strength of this woman is like what I hope that I can be. She taught me a lot. I was never close with my mom, and similar to Ahoni, just always taught me just to be, it's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Every time I would be at her house, it was always warm, comforting. We have 4 children, and she was always proud of them. She was always my support via Instagram and always kind. And so, anyway, I hope you all share a piece or something. I hate talking in front of people, but here we are, and I hope I can encourage you all to say some kind words about her as well.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you, honey. Hi, my name is Teresa, and I have known Diane since about 1990 when I started working at the school where she taught. And I want to say that Carolyn and Mary are here because we all love Diane. And I've kept in touch with Diane. I mean, when I first started, I learned about Noah and Jesse, and she's just embraces you into her life, and I know she did that with all of us, I can tell. And we'll never forget her, and we love her. And towards the I just want to say that one holiday, my family is Italian, and one holiday she came to one of our holidays, and she just kept telling me over and over, "Oh, Teresa, it's just like my family." And she just loved it, the noise and the people and the food. And many times she came with me to my mom and dad's house, and my mom would make pasta bazool or pasta badan, which is a potato soup, and Diane would love it. And so towards the end, I visited Diane many times and took her out, and we'd just sit and talk for hours. And I know that we'll all miss her. But I want to say one thing. She was so easygoing, and talking about leaving, which most people can't. And she said to me, I said, "Well, Diane, are you okay?" Here I'd be sitting there crying, and she'd be so strong and not crying, and she said, "I'm going to find out the biggest secret in the universe." I said, "What is that?" "Where I'm going." And I know she knows. And I said, "Well, Diane, would you please come back and tell me? Will you give me a sign?" And I believe in that, in signs. And so since she's been gone, I've been talking to her and saying, "Diane, I want you to send me a sign of a Buddha," because she gave me something to keep that she knew I would treasure. And it was like a stand, and with a crystal on top with a Buddha face on it. So I said, "I want you to send me a Buddha." And I've been waiting and waiting. And one night, the other night, just before this, and I know she wanted me to tell you this, I had turned the TV off, and when I went back in bed, for some reason, I turned it back on, and there was the whole screen was a Buddha. It was, and I was like, "Yes, Diane, you did it." And then I went to something the other day. I was talking to someone, and I turned around, and there was a Buddha there. So I know she wants me to know that she's okay, and we can all feel that today. And I'll never stop loving her. She was such a wise person and really taught me a lot. And I know she did that with all of us. So I want to say thank you, Diane. Wherever you are, we love you, and we'll miss you.
Well, I love Diane too. And I worked in the classroom with her for a quarter century. I took care of little children. She was also known as Dr. Diane because the parents would line up wanting to know how can they help their child naturally with their coughs and their colds. And she would sometimes say, "Well, the first thing I would do is never let it get to be that point. You've got to take care of things at the beginning." But my little girl, Jessica, was also in her class. And she, that same year, she received a family. The mother was a rabbi, and they had 3 little boys that went through our school. She sure wanted a little girl, and they adopted her from Russia. And a little girl named Alina came into the class, and my Jessica, they were just dear friends ever since they were 3. And that first day, they made popcorn in the class, and popcorn was her first English word that she learned. But they grew, and they actually ended up back at school at certain points of their life. And just this last summer, Alina was Jessica's bridesmaid at her wedding, and they sure do both remember Diane as a wonderful teacher. And thank you. Thank you.
Just come on up. No need to raise your hand.
Hare Krishna. So I'm the Dravida that she mentioned. And there's my old friend Ed Kane, now he's initiated as Ishtadev. Maybe he can say something too. And I first met Diane maybe 89, 90 when we started our programs up in her house. It was a big house at that time. Then she moved to a little smaller place. And it was, as she mentioned, regularly would go up. I think we started on Thursdays, then we moved it to Fridays. And I would go up with my then roommate, Bhakti Dorian, who became Divya Gyan. And then after that, I would go up with my other roommate, Gangaya Prabhu. And by the way, I wanted to mention, I have some videos that were taken at that time that I'd like to share and with you and Noah, so you have them. And, you know, it's mostly me chanting, but then he pans, and there's Diane playing the tambura. I had a tambura, and she loved to play that and sing, you know. So it's very touching. And so I just wanted to express my appreciation and for her hosting us. And as has been explained, it turned into quite an event. People would come, and I have to share this because this is a realization I had. And we have a kirtan, and then a little talk, and then prasadam. This is a standard thing, you know. And so I saw how you know, as time went on, more and more people were coming. And many of them were young ladies, you know, 18, 19, 20, like that, you know. So this is interesting, you know. It's quite I must be speaking nice, you know. But then I realized Noah was growing into his, he was like 18, 19, 20, very attractive, you know. And so they're coming to see Noah. They're not coming to see me. But that was okay, because one of the ladies who came was a wonderful devotee who lived here at the time. Her name was Rasa Priya. Remember that? And she was the daughter of a devotee, an incredible sculptor who joined early on in the late 60s. And he is the one who sculpted this murti of Srila Prabhupada. And you'll find in all the big temples, almost every temple will have like this. And he lived there, and she was growing up, and she's very intelligent and very devoted, and she would come also. And there was a play that was written by one of our leaders about Jagannath, Jagannath Priya Natakam. And the Rasa Priya, she took that play, and she produced it. And one of the players was Noah. Noah, what part did you play in that play? Krishna. He played Krishna. Appropriately, he was, you know, very nice-looking, handsome. He's still very handsome. And so it was a huge hit. I mean, I remember, I hope I'm not misquoting him, that Bhadri Narayan Maharaj, who's been the leader here since the late 70s, he said he was crying at the end of it. And they took it up to Laguna Beach, and it was put on there, and it had tremendous effect, you know. And this was all because Diane hosted it, and she nurtured that, and the relationship built, you know. And so this was, it's a tremendous amount, you know. In Krishna consciousness, you kind of, you're encouraged that whatever you do is to your eternal benefit. like you're coming here, just hearing the kirtan, even chanting, honoring. It lasts because none of us die. Nobody dies. I have a little saying that I wrote, a little poem. Let's face it, every body dies. Every single body dies eventually. I'm now 76 almost, so it's not too far off. So everybody dies, but nobody dies. This is Gita. Everybody dies, nobody dies. Wake up, and open your eyes. You're not that body, you're pure spirit soul. Chant the holy name and attain life's goal. So this is part of the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita you find. So I'm so encouraged because for years she would host this and she was facilitating Krishna consciousness for so many devotees. And also me, I had a great time. You see on these little videos, I'm speaking there and I'm doing kirtan and my friend Gangaya is right next to me. So this is a very auspicious gathering. It's here in the Hare Krishna temple, and we're remembering this very nice, wonderful devotee who facilitated so many people's Krishna consciousness and had a whole other life. I remember, she was worried about her making ends meet in her job that she had. And so I said, you should demand a raise, because she was telling me how she was so essential, And she got that raise, and it relieved a lot of her angst about, making ends meet. So I just wanted to express my great affection for Diane and her years of devotion and so many other connections she had. I can see she touched so many people's life. And I just remembered something, that Diane gave me a gift one time. It was a little crystal, which I still have. I kept it on my desk, and I still have it for many, many years. It's been more than 30 years. And I read about it, and I knew it was auspicious, but it's supposed to, help your health. And I've been very fortunate. I haven't, I'm almost 76, and I'm still running around, and I don't have any, So I think maybe that's been protecting my health all these years, and I'm going to make sure that it stays on my desk. Anyway, in memory of Diane and her wonderful effect she had on everyone she met, and her very auspicious involvement in Krishna consciousness directly. Thank you for listening to my little remembrances. Hare Krishna.
Hi, my name is Paula, and I've been a friend of Diane since I was 17. Closer? A classmate of mine at Mission Bay High School kept talking about this wonderful neighbor she had, and she happened to be pregnant, and as soon as that baby was born, she wanted me to come and meet them. So I did. I met Diane when Erica was 10 days old. And Diane turned around and said to me, "Do you babysit?" I thought that was kind of funny. And so I did babysit for Erica and Michael. Michael was 3, her oldest son. He was just a doll, and I fell in love with him. But it turned out that the very next year, I became a roommate of Diane's, myself, and where's Wendy? There's Wendy over there. Anyway, we've been lifelong friends ever since. And that was on Archer Street here in PB, and it actually turned out that there were probably 7 or so of us that lived on Archer Street at that time, and we still get together now and then, and I still consider all of them just some of my most precious friends. So I don't know if very many people know that about Diane's life, but before she ever came here, she was there, and she already had leanings into this kind of nurturing spiritual self that she was. And she really helped make my life what it was. And I know I'm going to miss her. Anyway, I wanted to make sure everybody knew that there's been a lot of lives of Diane. Diane's been a lot of people. And that we all love her and miss her. So I'm glad everybody came.
I met Diane when I was 13. She lived next to us on Archer Street. And
what's your name?
My name's Joel. And the connection I had to her at that time, I know Wendy, and there was Paula, and there was a group of us, probably 6 or 7 kids that were young. For whatever reason, we weren't getting along with parents. At least that was my story. But Diane would take us in, and I spent hours over at Diane's, and it was very, very safe. And I was young, and I knew her from 13 to 18, and then I went to Hawaii, and so I didn't have much contact until I saw her at the guest nurse, and they had known her 20 or 30 years. But I remember back then, she was so special. I didn't know about the spiritual side, but I felt safe over there where I didn't in many other places. So she was very special to me, and I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Joel.
I'll catapult myself up here. It's hard even to come to memorials for me. I'm like, my face is going to leak the whole time. So it's okay. It's a safe place for that. I think I want to start with the end, which is that Diane gave us all such a big gift because of her ability to be so transparent and sharing in Facebook and in person, preparing for death like that. There's a whole bunch of rabbit holes I could go down, but where none of us are getting out of here alive. We all have our own inklings of what we think that might be. We've all probably had some signs, gosh, when she started with the lung cancer, I was like, I need to see her more. I don't know how long she'll be around. But then when she had a few severe illness times in the course of the miracle of living 4 or 5 more years, which I feel is such a gift, I'd get a sense, and then I'd get to connect with her, and it would be so reassuring to have that physical time with her and the visits and stuff. So I'm really grateful for that. But I want to say I really think that she had super good karma in her life, and I think part of that's maybe it's just grace. Maybe she earned it before, but she certainly gave a lot of love and goodness to all of us. And I was remembering a story that I might have mixed parts of it, but the main part I do know for sure. But what I remember is maybe over 20 years ago, she had been in the hospital for a while, and I think we were talking about this giant bill. And I said, well, sometimes they'll reduce it if you call them. And so then we followed up and asked her, how did that go? And she goes, well, I just talked to the lady. You know more of the truth of that whole thing? Yeah. You were the doctor? Yeah. And explain, I don't know if she had multiple times in the hospital, explain the whole thing. And the lady said, we have some program. And I think they wiped out all but $200. Was that you? Well, look at you. Congratulations for being remembered. She wanted you to know that she appreciated that. But the morning she passed, I just had a sense of, oh, she's out, and I didn't feel sad. And then Ohoni was sweet enough to put out the message, so it's both sides. It's the side of, oh, she's free, she was ready, she was waiting, she felt like her love, she was surrounded by love in full circle. And it's still sad because we loved her and we want her here with us forever. Another story is going for so many extended family holidays and meals and dinners and stuff at Patty's house. One time, I can't remember if it was later in the night or after, she said, I was talking to the neatest young man in the kitchen for 2 hours. And then I was like, what's your name? And he goes, Diane, it's me, Daniel, my son, because she hadn't seen him in 5 years. And in 5 years at that age, they grow so much bigger. So she was having that whole conversation. He knew who she was, and she thought he was a brand new person. So that was very sweet. Lots of other things come through, but I just know that we all have something about Diane we want to share, but it takes, again, kind of pushing ourselves up to share. And I've been seeing a lot of dragonflies. Oh, that was the last thing. The other day I was walking down the street, and the guy, he wasn't fully disheveled, but he looked kind of disheveled. And I was just like, is this a safe situation stuff? And when he got right about here, he turns to me and he does a full-on Krishna bow thing with this glint in his eye. And I was just like, Diane, totally Diane. I'm like, whoa, finding your way through for whatever reason, so I think that we get those waves where it's likely the person's trying to let us know, hey, I'm still here in some way. So passing the mic. Take care.
Hi, my name's Kylie. I had the honor of being one of Miss Diane's students from 2 to 5. My mom is here, but Miss Diane was definitely my earth mother. And I remember Miss Carolyn and Miss Teresa. It's funny hearing your names without Miss in front of it, because Miss Diane will always be Miss Diane in my heart. I had the honor of her joining me at my high school graduation, my law school graduation. She always called me a precocious child, which I thought was a very polite way of saying I was demanding. So she was not surprised I became a litigator. But she was everything. You know, she was definitely my earth mother. And in college, my stepdad joined our life, and we found out that he was actually one of the doctors that was just mentioned that helped her with the financial issues at Scripps. And she also taught his children as well. So even in my very small world, she was a huge presence and touched so many of our lives in San Diego. And a few days before she passed, I had the honor of speaking with her and Ahoni and Noah. And just like all of you mentioned, she was so at peace and so accepting of the whole process. And that was just so her, you know, so kind, poised, as you mentioned, and graceful. She also gave me a little memento about 15 years ago, a little glass egg, which seems like that was kind of her thing, was to leave us all with trinkets of her. And I cherish that, and I cherish all my memories with her. And I'm extremely grateful for the presence that she brought into my life, as you all are well. Thank you.
Casey?
Hello, I'm Casey. I've known Diane most of my life. He was also my brother's preschool teacher, which was a long time ago. So before her passing, she was 6, and it was September 16th. And she called me on my birthday, which was really pretty amazing to hear. And I picked up my phone, and it was her. And so she was 6. She still had Angie call me on my birthday, which was really amazing. And I think that heart, and it's kind of emotional after. So then it was just kind of heart-wrenching, and just we were talking, and I was talking to somebody else too on the phone. I don't remember who it was. Was it? Oh, yeah. So anyways, that's all I want to say. And yeah.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Hare Bo. Diane just loved being here, and Diane loved all of you. And the lesson that we're learning from her is that we can love her because love isn't limited by time and space. You see, she's soaring, and she is knowing the truth. She always knew the truth. That's why everyone lined up to talk to her and believed her. She saved my daughter's life when she was born. She sent me to Dr. Fryman so that my daughter could get adjusted so she could nurse and live. Diane always knew the truth, and I trusted her so deeply. And so many people trusted her because she was more than just this third-dimensional life. She was channeled in the truth from many lives. And, you know, wherever I would go, she would see me at Jimbo's in Escondido, on the beach in Encinitas. Wherever I went, I crossed paths with her without even trying, because I know I'm going to see her again. And that, you know, we're sad because we feel separation, but the truth is that it's all one. And we're all one. And we're all going to be together again. And our love is the truth that she gave to all of us. And it's the best gift that anyone could give. She was a true beauty, a divine being. And I miss her because I'm separated now. But it's not forever, because she's with us now. Haribo.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm Kylie's mom. So 30 years ago, I met Miss Diane. She sent me a note in Kylie's lunchbox and said, you have given her empty calories. And I'm like, what is an empty calorie, man? I gave her Lunchables that she liked and a cookie. She's like, carrots, vegetables, and to this day, this is the healthiest kid. She's never had a Coke. She's never had anything. So that was number one lesson she taught me. She was always Kylie's earth mother, and I was the birth mother. That's how we split this up, because she was kind and compassionate, and well, I had to move on. The last thing she told me, right, we saw her like a couple days before she died with Noah and Anna there. She said, Jay, you go to the blue light, not the white light, and not the red light. You go towards the blue light. So here's to the blue light.
She did. For days and days before, she's like, I got to remember to go to the blue light. I got to remember to go to the blue light. So I'm pretty sure she did. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. My name is Mukesh. I met Diane right here in this temple. We used to have Sunday evening bhajans here, and then after that we used to go upstairs, if anybody remembers. We used to have bhajans upstairs, and then from there we went to her house. We used to have bhajans, as Pravida just mentioned. On Friday evenings, we used to go there, and it was just such a beautiful bhajans we used to have there. It was just incredible. And that's the first time I ate in a wooden tray, wooden plate, right? Wooden plate and wooden spoons, and I said, wow, this is amazing, you know? And it's incredible. Anyway, there's so many things to say about Diane. I think she used to mention about the school that she sometimes she knew what these kids are going to grow up as. You know, she had this inkling inside her. She said, oh, you know, she used to share some of those stories with us, and that was amazing. Anyway, and then one day I met at Bhakti Fest. I met Noah there. He was so grown up, I couldn't even recognize him, you know. So anyway, it was such wonderful to be thinking about Diane. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
I just wanted to bring up that she helped so many babies be born, and brought into this life. Because I had one that had a really hard time adjusting to being out, and he was like complaining, squirming, and the doctor said he was going to have to go into special care. And Diane was holding him, saying, "No, you're not. You're not going to have to go. It's going to be okay." Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
She was definitely at many, many births. She was at the birth of my youngest son, Jake, right here. She was the first person to hold him, even before my husband did, ex-husband. Didn't deliver him because I was up in Northern California and she was a school teacher and she could only get away, you know. Luckily, she did manage to get there when my water broke, so it worked out for her to be there. But I would love to see a raise of hands if you're in here and she delivered you or delivered your baby, or was at the present for your child's birth. Look at how many hands are up. Wow. That's impressive. I don't know how many people, I mean, doctors probably, but you know. Anyway, would anyone else like to share? She really, really was hoping people would share stories.
She delivered a lot of the devotee women that who are not here. She delivered their babies.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
My hands are all clammy. Hello, everybody. My name is Amy. My mother is Wendy, and Diane delivered me. I was able to be with her on her last days here with Ahoni and Noah because she was on the first day of mine. I thought that was really special, and it really meant something to me. She had joked that my mom had called her and said, "I'm going into labor, you need to come here, you need to come here now." And she had said, "Well, I'm currently breastfeeding a child and I have to get ready to change the other one's diaper, so after that I'll be right there." But yes, she was just the most amazing, amazing person in the whole wide world, and I share stories about her to all my friends. And it was, from a control freak I am myself, like the details that she went through and telling me about all of the things that she was going to do before she passed or before she left her body. And the food that was going to be served here, she would not stop talking about. And so that was probably the last conversation we had about how great the food was going to be. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think she's going to let us down on that one. But thank you all for being here. I'm really blessed to know a lot of people in this room and happy to meet the rest of you later. Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Sam, were you wanting to speak or are you just standing? Oh, okay.
Shalom, peace. My name is Josiah. I met Diane singing, devotional singing. And she was very fond of songs of spirit and healing. And I happened to be singing one night at a friend's, and she was just touched by the music. And that's how I met Diane. And I wrote this song for Diane. And I'm hoping that you all will like it. This song is in memory of Diane. So I'll have to put this down because I don't have a mic stand. Well, if someone could, that'd probably be very nice. One, two, three. Okay. In memory of Diane. La la la, la la la. Diane, a bundle of light. Now she's transitioned to be with God. Diane is dressed in white. Now she's transitioned into the light. Diane. In life, we loved you dearly. In death, we love you still. And our hearts hold a place that only you can feel. Diane, Diane. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We send you our love, our light, our truth, our peace, our prayers. And we can feel your presence here. Your spirit fills the air. Diane, a bundle of love. Now she's transitioned to be with Jah. Diane is dressed in white. Now she's transitioned into the light. Diane. We are sending you, Diane, our love, our peace, and our truth, and our prayers. We are sending you, Diane, our love, our light, and our peace, and our prayers. We are sending you, Diane, our love, our light, and our peace, and our prayers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Peace and blessings be with you, Diane.
Thank you. That was spectacular. Anyone else want to share some words? Oh, Sam? You want to sit down, or? Okay. Hold it close to your mouth.
Okay. I have bad balance, ladies and gentlemen. I was in a coma for 26 days, 45 years ago. I hit my head really hard, so the balance is still off there. But Diane and I saw each other's faces 11/22/13 at Jimbo's. And since that time, we traveled thousands of miles around California, saw things, did all kinds of fantastic things, had great times together. She was such a person, it was unbelievable. She helped me so much, did many things, and we all really miss her. Such a great woman, but she gave direction to many people, so she's still guiding us. That's enough. I could talk for a while longer, but I just ramble on. I could talk more, I just ramble on and talk and darn things. So I'm trying to think about the things Diane and I did do in the past besides shopping at Jimbo's and Trader Joe's all the time, getting good food to eat, and many things like that. So probably some more, but can't compute right now.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, anyone else?
Can you offer a little music for Diane?
Absolutely. Do you need this?
Could I use a chair?
Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, but I have a pretty loud voice. So, Diane appreciated this instrument from Africa, the Mbira, the Zimu, of the spirit. So I want to offer a song that she enjoyed hearing, and accompanied by Krishna and Tova. If you are struggling and so confused, call on your ancestor spirits. They have a message for you. Aye, they want it, they want it. Sending love.
Okay, so if anyone else wants to share, last call.
Patty?
Oh, yes. Oh.
I'll go before Patty, because you'll. I just wanted to say really briefly that I feel that Diane was just a beautiful, good person of integrity. And she was always at gatherings in Encinitas. She was always be there. And it was like she was just part of the richness that made the community what it is. And I feel like that's our job, is to be like that, be in friendship and truth and honesty in community with each other. And she modeled that so beautifully, amongst so many other things. So I appreciate her for that. You go, Patty.
Diane, oh my, I miss her so much. I knew Diane since 1982. We had a big old house up in the country on a dirt road, and Noah was a little boy, and Jesse was a little boy, and all our kids were up there. We didn't have any money per se, but we always had food, and we always had fun, and it was like the best times of our lives. She always said that she loved it the most, you know. And I miss her. She's my sister. Anyway, I wanted to say I brought sage for everyone. Everyone take some sage and take it home and burn it and remember Diane, okay? Because we love you, Diane. Oh, God, I miss her. Okay.
Oh, the years of living out on your land. What wonderful memories. Diane had some very specific places she wanted her ashes spread, and one of them is out on Patty's land, planted with a pomegranate tree. So we look forward to doing that. So if there isn't anyone else that wants to speak, I do believe the delicious prasadam, the food that Diane selected, is ready. If everyone wants to, did I see someone? No? Enjoy and mingle, and let's just keep carrying on the energy and love that Diane would want us all to do. And I appreciate everyone showing up today.
So prasadam is all ready. The logistics of serving out everyone, we have tables and we have some chairs, but that's limited. And of course the Sunday feast, many people sit on the floor, and I don't know how many people could do that. You're welcome to sit on the chairs. We have plates you can have, but it's the tables are limited, so you can start there. And I'll activate my friend Saul, who prepared everything, and we'll have plates and cups and spoons for you. And so it's all ready. So yeah, so repair to the patio, and yeah. Now there's some prasadam over there from the lunch offering, which is also available, but I think we should probably concentrate on it. let me get. Hare Krishna.